Good day, I'm Carrie-Ann Smith and this is your JIS News for Friday, April 10. United States President Barack Obama has announced a multi-million US dollar initiative to benefit young people in Latin America and the Caribbean. Mr. Obama made the disclosure yesterday at a youth leaders town hall meeting held at the University of the West Indies Mona campus. Andrea Chisholm was in attendance and filed this report.
U.S. President Barack Obama seeking to expand opportunities for young people.
I'm announcing nearly $70 million in U.S. investments in education, training, and employment programs for our young people throughout Latin America and the Caribbean. These investments will help young people in unemployed and impoverished and marginalized communities, give them a chance to gain the skills they need to compete and succeed in the 21st century economy.
Mr. Obama also launched the Young Leaders of America's initiative to assist young entrepreneurs and civil society leaders. It will give them a chance to implement their ideas while having access to research material, training, resources, networks, and capital through established linkages.
So this year we'll bring 24 entrepreneurs and civil society leaders from Latin America and the Caribbean, including young Cuban leaders, to the United States. Then next year we'll increase this fellowship to 250 young leaders, and we'll help you to expand your commercial and social ventures. We'll embed you in an American business and incubators. We'll give U.S. participants the chance to continue their collaboration with you in your home countries.
The program will complement another initiative launched 4 years ago, which seeks to have 100,000 students in the region studying in the U.S. and vice versa by the end of the decade.
Meanwhile, the U.S. President also announced yesterday that Jamaica and other CARICOM countries are to benefit from a new clean energy fund from the United States. While addressing the opening of the US-CARICOM summit in Kingston, he said the fund would be used to mobilize private investments in clean energy projects for the Caribbean and Central America.
This region has some of the highest energy costs in the world. Our Caribbean Energy Security Initiative aims to help move the region toward cleaner, more affordable energy.
In her remarks, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller welcomed President Obama's engagement with Caribbean leaders on that and other regional and international issues. She also commended the latest development regarding U.S. relations with Cuba.
We commend you, Mr. President, and President Raul Castro for this bold and courageous move to renew USA-Cuba bilateral relations for the common good of all our peoples. We are encouraged by your engagement and dialogue.
CARICOM Chairman Perry Christie also addressed the opening ceremony of the US-CARICOM summit before all the regional heads met with the president in a closed-door meeting. And President Obama, along with Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller and other regional leaders, this morning attended the opening of the 7th Summit of the Americas in Panama City, Panama. Ahead of that engagement, the U.S. President paid tribute to Jamaicans who served in the 2 world wars by laying a wreath at the cenotaph in the National Heroes Park. It was his final engagement in Jamaica before ending the historic 2-day visit to the island. It was the second by a sitting U.S. president since Jamaica's independence. In other news, government's planned divestment of its commercial assets in Jamaica's cocoa industry is now in its final stages of implementation. Agriculture Minister Derek Kelly made the announcement recently at the Jamaica Exporters Association Members Breakfast Forum.
Jamaican cocoa, ladies and gentlemen, is highly sought after. It is acclaimed as one of the 8 fine-flavored cocoas and is desired by connoisseurs worldwide. And there is strong interest from both local and overseas interests to establish new acreages as well as to rehabilitate existing acreages.
He added that government would be repealing the Cocoa Industry Board Act to introduce the new Jamaica Agricultural Commodity Regulation Agency Act to establish a licensing regime for cocoa exporters. In the meantime, Minister Kelly said government was still pursuing initiatives to increase exports of other traditional crops like coffee, spices, and banana.
Government is now implementing a global gap certification program for the banana industry to allow for the positioning of the commodity in the fair trade segment of the European market.
That initiative is funded by the European Union through the Banana Accompanying Measures Program. And finally, National Security Minister Peter Bunting has saluted the men and women of the Jamaica Constabulary Force who continue to serve, protect, and reassure the public.
The majority of JCF members are respectable professionals who make tremendous personal sacrifices to carry out one of the most difficult and psychologically challenging jobs, even occasionally at the expense of their own personal and family lives.
Minister Bunting was speaking at the awards ceremony for the 2015-2016 Lasco Police Officer of the Year competition. Detective Woman Sergeant Ava Lindo of the Inspectorate of Constabulary got the Top Cop Award. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.